Hello my dear friends, it's Yuri Tvetkov, and today this is one more excellent reason to make the translation of the scoring and the prediction power, maybe not prediction but expectation power of the first three holes for the expecting of the results -8 and better. As you know, yesterday the three golfers have shown such an excellent result: Joh Rahm, Rory McIlroy, and some Barnes. And plus that, just a second, Abraham Ancer have played -6, and his results were also excellent to predict the good rounds as -7, -8, and better. You can see that yesterday results are here, and the methodology of my predictions or my analysis involves the analysis of the approach proximity and the first putt proximity. And we can see that yesterday Sam Barnes, for example, his approach proximity after first three holes will average 2.3 yards, and his first putt proximity after the same three holes will 0.5 yards. And this connection, his approach and proximity were amazingly perfect for expecting -8 and better rounds. His first putt proximity were not so amazingly excellent. Usually, the golfers have the average figures, those ones who are playing with -8 and better. Certainly, they have the first putt proximity approximately 0.3 yards. So in this connection, it seems that it's working not so bad. We need also to say that it was worked for Sam Barnes, for Joh Rahm. We can say that Joh Rahm had 5.3 and first putt proximity 0.6. And again, we can see that the first putt proximity 0.6 is not so excellent for expecting -8 and better. But approach and proximity were very impressive, 5.3. And we didn't make analysis of the Rory McIlroy because I have looked just for the golfers who have started in the morning groups. And we need to say also that Victor Hovland, for example, he have started perfectly, and he was -2 after three holes, but his results were not so highly impressive. You see that the approach and proximity were 14 feet, and the first putt proximity was 0.2 feet. And this connection, it was unreasonable to expect from him an excellent round in this day, meanwhile that he have started very perfectly. The mistake which were made yesterday is the Brooks Koepka, because the Brooks have a good approach proximity, 6.3 yards average, and first putt proximity were impressive, just 18 yards average. And this connection, 0.18 yards average. So in this connection, it was a very good result. So we also can take a look for Harold Warner third, and here approach proximity was good, 5.3, but his first putt proximity was 0.7, and it was not given us an opportunity, the chance to expect the excellent round from him for yesterday, and he didn't play this round yesterday. So perfectly as he have started on the first three holes. Currently we are taking, I have made the previous analysis of some golfers who have started to play a little bit early, and those are the Sebastian Munoz, for example. And Sebastian Munoz have made one birdie on the three holes, and his approach proximity was 8.1, and his first putt proximity was 0.6. And this connection, it's not so many reasons to expect amazingly perfect round. Maybe the reasonable expectation for this round is -5, -6, something like that. But I need to say that I didn't make analysis of those figures. I have analyzed just the figures when the golfers' performance when the golfers have played -8 and better. And this connection, my expectation for the other situations maybe is not so highly reasonable. At least I have not the figures to do it. Jonathan Vegas, little bit, maybe even much more better situation, because Jonathan have made also one birdie on the first 3 holes, but his approach proximity were 4.9. It's very good figures. Usually the approaching proximity which is necessary to play -8 is approximately, for all 18 holes certainly, is approximately 10 yards. And the first putt proximity exactly 0.3 yards for all 18 holes again. So the first putt proximity for the Jonathan Vegas was 0.3. And this connection, we can expect that today Jonathan Vegas have much more chances to play rounds -7, -8 and better. And in this case, I'm trying to expect that Jonathan Vegas will play perfectly today. Hideki Matsuyama, very perfect beginning. He have made one eagle on the second hole, and we can see that his figures very close to Jonathan Vegas. Just a second, not for the, yes, for Jonathan Vegas. His approach proximity is 5.3, and his first putt proximity is 0.2. First putt proximity amazingly perfect in this connection. We can expect that he will play perfectly today. So in many cases it's certainly related with the amazingly beautiful approach on the the second shot on the par 5 hole from 257 yards for the only 3 feet and 6 inches to the hole. And this connection, he have made one putt, and on this hole he had approaching proximity 0, because he was by the second stroke, not the regular but the second shot on the green, and plus the first putt proximity 0, because he made just one putt. But approaching of both other putts on both other holes were also excellent. 11 inches on the first hole and 11 inches on the third hole. And this connection, we can say that it's very good results in this connection. So the Jonathan Vegas and Hideki Matsuyama, we are expecting very good results from him today, maybe -7 and better. Maverick McNeely. You know that Maverick is oftenly starting perfectly, but not always finishing so perfectly. But from the other side, his results are highly interesting in this situation for this methodology. You see that his approach proximity on the first 3 holes is 8.4. That is not so huge. It's good for, and excellent maybe, for the -8 and better, because the average for -8 and better is 10 yards. But his first putt proximity were amazingly perfect. We see that he have made just 3 putts on the first 3 holes, and in this connection his result was 0. So we certainly can expect that Maverick McNeely statistically have many reasons to play an excellent round today. Certainly it's only statistically, because you can see that currently I'm expecting the excellent result from the 3 golfers from 4 which we have analyzed. In this connection you see that maybe it looks like the over expectation, and I need to say that I don't want to make an over expectation certainly. So the Hudson Stafford also have started perfectly. On the first 3 holes he have made one birdie, on the second hole again, and but here we can see that he is very close to the approach proximity, 9.6 yards average, because he was not so highly successful on the third hole, and his proximity were 19.1 yards over there, 56 feet and 1 inch. And his first putt proximity was not, excuse me, he was not on the green, he was over the green. And this connection, after that he have saved a par, it was a scrambling, so the ball were on the green just on 7 feet and 4 inches, and from this distance he have made the first putt. But his first putt proximity were not so impressive, 0.7 only, and in this connection we can't expect that he will play so perfectly today, because you see that first putt proximity is highly important, because it seems that the difference 0.7, the difference 0.3 is not so big, but actually we are talking about a situation when if the ball is staying at average 0.3 yards from the hole, or 0.2, such as Hideki Matsuyama have made on the first 3 holes at average, we can expect that more and more balls will finish in the hole after the first putt, and this is a major source of the excellent performance, such an excellent as -8 and better in the whole round in 18 holes. So now we will try to take a look. So you know that the other space in the spreadsheet is free, is not, there are not names of the golfers here, and we will try to analyze 2 interesting golfers for us today. Rory McIlroy, and plus that Sergio Garcia. It is certainly statistically unreasonable to expect 2 consecutive excellent rounds with -8 and better. In this connection, it's not so highly reasonable to expect such rounds as yesterday from the Rory McIlroy and the Sergio Garcia. But from the other point, we are just making the statistical research. In this connection, we are free from such an expectation. Statistically, I'm understanding that this year the only one golfer have played so perfectly. It was the Stewart Singh, who have played -8 in first day and -8 in the second day. But who knows, maybe Rory McIlroy is in such a good form currently that, and maybe he is so seriously motivated for the end of this season, that he will show such results, because we can see that the last year on the Northern Trust, the Dustin Johnson have played perfectly. In the first day he played -11, and in his total results for 4 days were -30. So who knows, maybe situation will be repeated by the Rory McIlroy or any other golfers. So we will try to make analysis for the Rory right now. So we are putting his name over there. Okay, a little bit bigger for better understanding. And now I will try, I will try to make it even more size better for better viewing for you. So what we're making, we are looking for his performance of the first hole. It was par 4, and he have played in the par 115 yards after tee shots. So we are putting this information here. After that, he have successfully attacked the green, and the ball was in the 15 feet and 3 inches. So we are putting here information about 3 and 3 inches. And his first putt proximity was 2 feet and 10 inches. Not so excellent, not so excellent, and you know that, not so excellent. That's much more higher than it's necessary to play an excellent round. So on the next hole he have played in the par, or excuse me, he have made a birdie. After tee shot he was on 225 yards. So we are changing information here, because it was the 4 shot and 225 over there. After that he have made a shot in the green side bunker, 39 feet and 3 inches. But it was just the second shot, and this connection it was not approaching for this distance, and the ball was on the green in 7-8 by regular shot. 7 feet and 8 inches. he have made just one putt in this connection. The first putt proximity was 0. Approaching proximity will be 2.6 yards on this hole. And now we need to analyze the third one. On the third one, he have made a par. The first tee shot was finished on the 51 feet and 9 inches. So 51.9. And his first putt proximity were 2.4. 0.8 yards, and we can see that today approaching with quite good, not excellent, but very close to the higher level for the excellent rounds with much -8 and better. But his first putt proximity is not so excellent. And this connection, it's not so highly reasonable to expect so excellent result as Rory have shown yesterday. -8 and better. I think that probability of this event is not so big. I think maybe the probability of this event more than before the start of this game, but maybe approximately 5 or 7%, something like that. And the next golfer who are interesting for us is Joh Garcia. We will start him from them, and after that we'll analyze the Bryson DeChambeau because he also excellent today. So Sergio Garcia, and again a little bit more size for better viewing. So the first hole, he have made a birdie on the first hole. Oh, it's interesting. He will play just right now. He is playing on the third hole. It's exactly interesting. 124 yards proximity. Oh, after a tee shot, 124. So after that, 36 feet and 8 inches. Oh, excuse me. .36 and 8. So as we know, it was a birdie, and this connection it was just one putt, and amazingly perfect putt from 12.5 yards, but approaching proximity was not so hugely excellent. So again, birdie on the second hole, a 248. And he was on the green by the second shot, and this connection approaching proximity will be 0, 52.9 and 3.6. 52.9 and 3.6. It's proximity of the first putt. Okay, and it will be proximity of the approaching the 0 because he was by the second shot on the green. And hole number 3. Just a second. Okay, so first tee shot were 29.3. 29.3, and he was on the green by the regular short. Oh, not, he was not on the left intermediate. It is highly important for us. You see that it's not so highly important for approaching proximity, but it's highly important for the number of putts and for the first putt proximity. 3.9, 3.1, excuse me. And he have made a par. So this way we can see that he's putting. His putting is very close to the first putt proximity, which is necessary for making excellent rounds. But 0.3 will be much more informative for us. And this connection, again, we can expect that today he will play something like -5, -7. Approaching proximity is good, 7.5, and we can see that he's playing currently a little bit better than Rory McIlroy on the first 3 holes. Not only because he have made 2 birdies, but because the quality, the numbers are showing us that he is a little bit better than the Rory McIlroy. But it's not that, that the -8 and better is the excellent results, and that it's quite difficult to expect them with the highest probability. In this case, I think that it's not so many reasons to expect that Sergio Garcia will play -8 today. So the next one is the Bryson DeChambeau. Yesterday he have played quite good, -4, and today we can see that he's playing amazingly perfectly. And we will try to analyze these exactly in the figures, not just in the performance, but exactly in the figures. So Bryson, he have made a birdie on the first hole. Oh, he was very close to the green after tee shot. 71 feet and 8 inches. (71 and 8). But he was not on the green. In this connection, his first shot on the green was just 10.10. In this connection, he have made just 1 putt. In this case, the first putt proximity is 0. And his approaching proximity were 3.7. Excellent, the performance on this hole. 231 yards to the hole after tee shot on the second. 200. Just a moment. It's 4 shots. It's a birdie. So 231. After that, he was on the green by the second shot, just in 12 feet and 9 inches. In this case, the proximity of the approaching will be 0 for him. And he have made 1 putt, but we need to say that his first putt was not so amazingly perfect. And proximity of the first putt was 2 feet and 8 inches. 0.9 yards. Next hole. He was on the green by the first shot, 44.1 inches. And his approaching was good this time, 19 inches. 0.5. Okay, but we can see that approach proximity is amazingly perfect, 6.5 only, and it's given us many chances to expect the rounds -8 and better. But the first putt proximity is 0.47 yards, and I need to say that it's not so many reasons from after first three holes to expect the best round for him. It's difficult to tell because you see that he have played -5 after 5 holes, and it's amazingly great performance. In this connection, it's suddenly becoming understandable that he have many reasons to place -8 and better. But for my methodology, after 3 holes, I need to say that I have no chances to say that he will play so perfectly today. -8 and better. I think that his first putt proximity is not so huge to expect it. So -8 and better are the rounds when the golfers are, the probability of these events on the usual tournaments during the older season is less than 1 to 100. Maybe 1 to 300, approximately something like that. Certainly we know that on this tournament many golfers are playing perfectly, and they are showing excellent results, because yesterday just 7 golfers have played in positive figures. Most of them have played better than the par of the course. In this case, certainly on such a course, it's much more reasons to expect that somebody will play -8 and better today. But actually, the putting of the Bryson DeChambeau on the first 3 holes were not so amazingly perfect for me to expect that he will make such a result. So I need to expect something which is described by the figures. In this connection, I prefer to make expectation that statistically after 3 holes, according to this methodology, he have not so many reasons to play so perfectly. So Sergio Garcia, and we will try to take a look for someone else, and maybe okay, the Patrick Cantlay. It's highly interesting to make analysis of Patrick Cantlay. Just a second. Yes, here he is. So first hole, 103, 23 feet and 2 inches. 103, and it was a birdie. (23 and 2 inches). Amazingly perfect putting. Just one putt, and this case proximity of the first putt is 0. So we'll need to make some calculations here, some changes. Okay. So his approaching proximity were 7.9 yards, and he have made a putt from the 7.9 yards. That's great. So the next hole, he made into the par, and it's also reason to expect that that in the best rounds the golfers usually using the par 5 holes for the playing better than par, and the average maybe they are making 4.3 shots approximately. So 268 after tee shot, 69 feet, approximately 21 yards after second. After that he was on the green, so approaching of the green will be 16.6. Approaching proximity will be 16.8, yes, and 13 inches proximity of the first putt. So just one putt on the first hole, in this connection 0. And here it will be 0.4 yards. And the approach proximity is 5.7 yards. 55.6 not on the green. It's the first short proximity. 18.9 yards. Okay. 2.3. Yeah, we know that Patrick Cantlay is amazingly perfect in the scrambling exactly, and this time he's also shown us that sand saving were amazingly perfect for him, and he have made just one putt. And again, you see that he very interesting situation, maybe or reasonable. Just a second. So here we have the next situation. The approach proximity is 0.8. It's a little bit more than average proximity for the excellent rounds, but it's very close to the average figures. And the first putt proximity is amazingly perfect, 0.1. In this connection, it's reasonable to expect from Patrick Cantlay today the scoring approximately -7 and some -6, something like that. And there are some reasons, maybe 10% probability that he will play it with -8 and better, or maybe even 15% of probability that he will make it. So now try to make an expectation. Who have more reasons to play today with -8 and better, or close to the -8 and better? It's not Sebastian Munoz. Jonathan Vegas, yes, the first one. Hideki Matsuyama, the second one in our list. Maverick McNeely, the third one in our list. But he's approaching on the level, I'm not sure about him, but his first putt proximity were excellent. Hudson Stewart, Swafford, excuse me, no. Rory McIlroy, no. Sergio Garcia, maybe because he's very close to these figures, little bit longer first putt proximity than it's necessary to be sure. Bryson DeChambeau, the first putt proximity is not so excellent, maybe -7, -6, something like that. And again, he have currently, we certainly see that he have many reasons to play it -8, but I am talking just about methodology. And Patrick Cantlay is also more close to the results, -7, -6, something like that, but it's reasonable to expect that he will play -8 also. So those are my expectations about the results for the second day of the BMW Championship. And certainly I can't make the very long video during the all translation. It will be highly interesting to do it, and we are looking just for some golfers, and we are just trying to understand the correct or not correct correctness of this methodology. But at the end I will try to take a look for the Dustin Johnson, because certainly we're expecting that maybe in the end of the year he will be so excellent as he was in the last year. And certainly he have started the final series of those events not so perfectly as the last year, because on the Northern Trust he couldn't make a cut. But from the other side, who knows? Situation will change, may change. Alexander Schauffele -5 also, and will start to play even more later. But Okay, we'll see what will happen in the end of the day. Thank you very much, dear friends, for your attention. I see that maybe just one of you have looked this translation today, but I hope that maybe a little bit later, maybe you will find that it's much more interesting. I will state a video about this translation on my channel, and I will recommend you the site, Google site, the alloverthegolf, which is called the same name as this channel in the YouTube. And I hope that this methodology will be very useful, not only for the for expectation, reasonable expectation, mathematical expectation of the results and the best rounds results, but also for the improvement of our game, because games you see that when we will be highly attentive to the approach and proximity of the and to the first part proximity, you will find that your results are rising very quickly, because you see that the first one is measuring not only the approaching but also the results of the tee shots. Certainly it depends from the tee shots, and the second one is describing as the qualities of the short game, of our accuracy on the green, and it's very close not only for the putting but also to the game around the green. We have seen it on the Patrick Cantlay example, because you see that again, if you will take a look for that, the Patrick is amazingly perfect around the green in many rounds during the year. And when he is in such a good form, you know that for golf it's becoming not so highly different. Is he making the shot around the green or on the green or putting the first putt? Yeah, he's kind of very close to the pin, to the hole after the shot, even the chip on the sent, as we have seen with the Patrick Cantlay. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope to see you on my channel. I have a lot of short videos there. In this connection, it will be highly interesting for me to understand what looking forward to you are going to find. The big part of my content is certainly about the best rounds in golf, which are played in the -8 and better, and to see that the best golf round scoring major factors are approaching proximity and first putt proximity, as we have talked today. Thank you very much. Hope to see you. Bye bye.